I want to talk about collaboration. I'm not quite sure what's happening in your schools, but in my school, I'm kind of noticing a decline in that sense of community that I've spent so long trying to build in my classroom. You know, one thing as educators that we work really hard on is building a sense of acceptance and belonging in our music rooms. I came up with a pretty good idea about how I can collaborate with students in a music production setting. Before I give the solutions, let me first talk about the problems. When we talk about problems in collaboration, many students are unsure of how to collaborate. They don't quite understand how much do I put in and how much do I let the other student put in. So those are the obstacles that we are facing when we want students to work together. So a very simple way that I think I've solved this is instead of having students collaborate with each other first, let's teach them the skills and tools that they need to work with other students by first working with you. You, as the educator, can guide the students in giving them the skills they need to collaborate to make music. When students are collaborating with you, you set the perimeters and guidelines. You decide how much work you want to put in and how much work you want the students to do. So let me show you a project that I have my students work on. Come with me.
Get strong.
So we're trying to build skills here, remember, to have students understand how a collaboration works. So I created this project here where it says, I made this sick beat using Emonic's loop pack. Now, if you haven't heard of Emonic, Emonic is a YouTube music producer who also does a lot of Bandlab tutorials as well. If you haven't checked out his videos, go ahead and search for him. He is amazing. However, I did not finish it, and I need your help. And I have everything in it except the drum beat. Now, when I show this to my students, I like to play it up a little bit, and I like to say, oh, you know, like my computer died or my computer crashed and I didn't quite finish the song, I need your help. So you can come up with your own way of how you want to present this assignment. But in here, we want them to create their own drum beat by either using the drum machine or finding a drum loop. Now, if you haven't seen my drum machine video, I'll put a link up here so you can go ahead and check that out. But here we want to add a beat, drums, and only percussion instruments. So you can really only specify have students only choose percussion instruments. And down here is probably the most important part. And I like to do a little joke here. Don't delete or move any of my sounds. I don't want to be kicked out of the band. If you don't put that in there, I tend to find that students like to get rid of some of your sounds and move your sounds around, and they end up kind of changing the entire song completely. That's okay. We can have them do that, but I think we'll have them do it at a later time. Again, we're building skills right now, so let's just do one skill at a time. I like to create a student account as well. That way I can show students exactly what they're going to see, because the teacher and the student's account are very different. Let's go ahead and first listen to the song that I created. I'm really happy with this song. However, again, it's missing a drum beat. So this is where the students will add their portion to it. So again, there was two ways for students to do this. We can either have them go to add track and go to drum machine, and then we can go ahead and have them create their own drum beat. Now, this is what I would specify in your assignment, which is when you open up the drum machine, it gives you two different drum machine beats. It gives you an A and a B. And I think it's kind of important that we tell our kids that we don't want to just have the same loop over and over again throughout the entire song. I mean, that's really boring. Let's add a bunch of different sounds to it. So I'm going to open up my drum machine here. I'm going to make sure I'm in pattern A. And I think the first beat that I want is a kind of a disco beat. I put this one in my drum machine video. I like that a lot. So I'm going to leave that in there. All right, so that's going to take up the whole length, and we'll have that come in with the bass. And we'll have that stop there. All right, this was part B. So I'm going to open that one up. Again, I'm in pattern B, I can see. And let's mix this up a little bit here. Gonna just add a bunch of different sounds to it. All right, I think I like that. And I'm gonna change that one bass drum there. I like it. And we can even change the different sounds if we're not liking what we're hearing. We can actually change it just by clicking that little folder there. But let's keep it in there. All right, great. So we got it. So now we have 2 drum beats that we can use. And if I want to copy this, I can hit Control, I can hit Alt, and then move my mouse over. And now I have my old beat right back to it. All right, so listen to the major change, adding our drum beat to it. I mean, really, right there. I mean, that did not take me long. I created 2 drum beats, so it already I'm feeling as if I was a student, I'd just now enhance this song even more. All right, if we don't want students to do that way, we can have them just create a simple loop. We can go to our loop library. We don't have to use Emonics drum beats, but if we wanted to, we could. We can go ahead and just sample them and see what they sound like, and then drag it in when we're ready. If I want to use that one, I don't know what that's going to sound like. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that one. No. So let's find a different one. In fact, let's go ahead and narrow our search. Let's go to loops. And then underneath the instrument portion, I want to only find drum beats. Because again, I don't need to find guitars or synths. So I'm now only looking at drum beats. So I can just, I don't know. All right, let's grab that one, see what this sounds like. I don't know how that's going to be with our song, but we can experiment. Now, even though students are just picking a loop, which doesn't sound that complicated, it's actually some pretty good skills. They're comparing, they're analyzing, they're doing some high-level thinking and listening to see if the beat they chose sounds good. So they're not just simply dragging a loop in and calling it quits. They're doing some very high-level thinking here. All right, so I think this is the best way to have your students collaborate first. Again, we're just building skills, so having them collaborate with you, I think, is the most effective way. Hopefully this gives you a good idea about how I feel about collaboration, and hopefully this can help you and your students collaborate with each other. Now, before you go, I want to show you one last thing here. Don't leave yet here. I would love for you to join my Bandlab for Educators class. If you would like to use any one of these lessons that I've created, by all means, please come join my class by entering this code into Bandlab and be a part of the Bandlab for Educators class. Be a part of the Modern Music University. By being a part of this class, you will have access to all of the lessons that I create, and I'm going to continually be putting lessons up regularly. Oof, sorry, it's 11:30 at night, so you're gonna have to bear with me with words here. But please come be a part of my class. That way you can have access to these lessons, and that way you can share with your students. All right, thanks for watching, and Please use these lessons. Let me know if they're helpful, and let me know about any other lessons that you would love to see.
You strong.